Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a great week so far at home and you're not getting too bored. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about blackout poetry. Um, for this, you're going to need to have markers or Sharpies. You could really use any color marker. Black works really well. Um, Anything that'll really black out text. And I know I gave you, some people took some markers home from my classroom on Friday. You'll also need either a magazine, newspaper, an old book that you can use to black out text. You'll also need, you could also use, if you'd like, colored pencils, markers, scissors, glue, and glitter. So you might want to use a folder when you're doing the blackout poetry, just coloring on top of something, just so you don't get it on the table you're working on or the surface you're working on. Okay, so blackout poems, it's also known as censored poetry. It's a type of found poetry that allows you to be really creative and use words from someone else to write a poem. So it encourages you to be really thoughtful about words and think about the power in words and what words you want to use to express yourself. So um, it kind of part of the reason we're doing this is so that you can learn to use your creativity in a fun way, and also kind of get us started with this poetry idea. And sometimes, like thinking about writing just a poem and can be overwhelming. But when you can actually kind of use someone else's poems, it's or words, it's a nice way to kind of get started with it. Oh, and this slide kind of explains that right here, but you can read this, just about how sometimes when we have too many options, it can be overwhelming. So when you use text, you might want to start with a small piece of text first, because if you have a lot, it can be overwhelming to kind of write a blackout poem with. So the first thing you're going to do when you create your blackout poem is you're going to scan for words that maybe fit together or make a message that's unrelated to the content that's actually on the page. A good way to do that would be to underline it in pencil or like circle those words. Yep, and then you can circle them in marker. And then you can start by blacking everything out. This is the fun, easy part where you just kind of get to color. So just some tips. Be creative. You can scribble, draw. If you can't find the exact words you need, you could use letters from several different words to create. There's not really a lot of rules to this, so feel free to be creative as you'd like. There is the alternative to work as a group, but I don't know how that'll work so well with e-learning, so we'll kind of skip that. This kind of just shows, I'm going to just go through and show you a few really creative examples that are a little different than just the standard found poetry in case you kind of want to try that. I love this one that says creativity is subtraction. It works really well with found poetry. Shirt has it. Here's another one, really pretty. And as you go through, you can see how you could add color. Use these as just kind of inspiration to get you started. I love this one. And some of you that are really amazing artists, which I know a lot of you are, you could try something like this, or like this. And maybe you just want to create a design. This one's really cool. So there's a lot of examples for you to look through. I'm going to just kind of scroll now. You're welcome to look through those and get more inspiration. This last one I'm going to show you. A student a couple years ago did this. I thought it was really cute. About women's rights. I'm that girl, strength, confidence, empowerment. She's now real. I thought it was so cool. There's also variations. So if you're not really feeling the blackout style and you want to do cutouts, that would be okay too. Or if you want to do more glitter and paint, this is really cool. There's also this type of variation where you kind of cut out letters and make a poem out of the letters you cut out from magazines. A few more variations. You could do it on the computer too. Or maybe you want to actually cut out the words. That might take a while, but it might be fun. This is just an example of a bulletin board there. So just be creative. You can make the background really interesting, however you want to do it. So here's just kind of the task. So it's to be creative and have fun. You could do this, I've heard, on your iPad, but I haven't done it before. So I think you guys always know the apps better than I do. I think Photoshop, I've seen a lot of you using Photoshop in class. I think Photoshop would be a way to go about using this. I don't know. Somebody mentioned the Padlet, but when I tried on the Padlet, I couldn't figure out how to like scribble over the image. If you know how, maybe you could do that. You could also just do it do your blackout poem like they're shown here, and then just take a picture of it on your iPad and then upload it to Classroom and to turn it in. But have fun with it. You could listen to music while you work, and your poem might get shared. I'm going to kind of create since we can't share out in class, I might create just like a Google presentation of all your poems and share it out to everybody. This is going to be due on Wednesday. So Wednesday latest, you can turn it in as 11:59 p.m. I'll put that up on Google Classroom as well. And then don't forget to clean up, guys. Don't leave it to your parents to have to clean up after you. Make sure you're picking up all the markers that you used and the scrap paper and all of that. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope this is a fun assignment for you. Please email me or write me a personal message on Google Classroom if you need anything. Thanks so much. Bye.